Okay, hi, hey, hello. It's me, Anne, the Ashanti Warrior. And I just want to talk about this term called cis versus like being cis and being called cis. You're not cis. You're a you're a man, you're a woman. And that's it. Here's something that I wish trans people would consider is that every single time they imply that being trans is a descriptor like being tall or it means you're just a certain type of woman, it's actually factually incorrect. Like it's incorrect. It's not just incorrect, it's dangerous. And here's why. For thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of human history, regardless of where you lived on this planet, our species, our as human beings, we've always divided ourselves into male and female. Why? Because we are a sexually reproductive species that reproduces sexually. There's plenty of studies that suggest that attachment theory, the structure of the clitoris existing, all of these things were simply ways in which we have evolved in order to reproduce and find our mate and cultivate relationships with our mates. And so women were identified as being women based off of their biological anatomy, based off of whether they were adult human females that could lactate, that could menstruate, and that could gestate. Adult human females are those who have the ovums and the eggs and produce eggs and and are the ones who can have the offspring, and male are the ones who have sperm and produce sperm. And because of that unification between the two, we are here. And that a lot of women who struggle in today's society struggle because of a lot of biological inequities that happen to us. And so when women are telling you that when you say what it means to be a woman is a feeling, you are actually dismissing and erasing the real experience of women up until the beginning of time. It didn't matter how I felt, how a white woman felt, a tall woman felt, a woman with no legs felt, a woman who couldn't reproduce felt. We were all women and we all share an experience that doesn't come down to our feelings. You don't wake up one day and say, hey, I feel like a woman. We all have our own inherent femininity and sense of womanhood. It's innate and it's something that we understand within ourselves. But the ways in which that has even come about is because it's produced from a biological reality based off of being female. And the thing that I want people to recognize is when you try to erase that and say, hey, I'm a woman and a trans woman is the same, you're erasing the biological realities of both women and trans women. Trans women live their lives as biological men, biological males, majority of the time. Can they have different choice? Can they choose to transition? Sure, but that doesn't make them a woman because you're erasing the biological reality of trans people. Trans women are just another expression of men. Trans women are just another expression of manhood. They are not women. They are just a different type of man. Because in order to be a woman, you need to be an adult human female. And it's erasure of females, girls, and women, and everything in between when you say now we no longer have to identify the way we've identified. Now we have to identify with this other definition. You see, when they say cis women, what they're saying is your sex and your gender are the same. And then they're trying to say that there are people in this world whose sex and gender are not the same. And that is a misalignment and a misappropriation of reality. Your gender is the same as your sex. To be a woman means to be an adult human female. These are one. If you are a woman, you are an adult human female. Your sex and your gender are the same. When they say it is separate, then they are trying to say your biological sex does not determine your gender, which is not true. How can you be transgender? What are you transitioning from if your sex is not this thing? If your gender is not this thing? Exactly. You are trying to transition away from what you are. So when you try to say that transgender people are people who are women, you're also negating the fact that to be trans, you also have to have the biological reality of maleness or femaleness. Otherwise, what are you transitioning into? What is your gender transitioning into if you are not already associating gender and sex to be one? Exactly. You guys recognize that your gender and sex are one, and your transness is a movement towards something else. I argue that trans women and trans men are not, they are just a different expression of manhood. A trans woman is a different expression of masculinity. And that there are different spectrums in which masculinity and manhood can be expressed, obviously. But that doesn't negate the fact that you guys are men. Trans women are a different expression of manhood. Trans men are a different expression of womanhood. That's it. There's only two. That's it. And so, you're not cis. You are a woman. And please understand, it's not as simple as just like, oh, like, why can't we just respect people's pronouns? Because then we're starting to move into a world of delusion and confusion and chaos. And that is, to me, the work of the devil and the enemy. The enemy seeks to confuse. The enemy seeks to destroy. The enemy seeks to derail you from your true self. And to me, the reason why it's even valid and important is because of the necessity for those who are followers and lovers of God to reaffirm what is true. You can be a trans person and still be valid in your identity. As a trans person, your biological reality is a unique experience that no one who is a woman would understand because she doesn't live that biological reality. And it also is erasure of your biological experience every single time you try to say, I am a woman, because you are not. And you know you're not. You could never be you can't, because womanhood is not a feeling. Womanhood is something that's based in a biological reality of being a female that is human and an adult. That is not something that you can relate to. Now, are there different experiences that you may have had with masculinity and femininity as you've grown up, which convinced you that you were something different? Sure. But to say that you are a woman and then to get mad at women who have lived their whole lives struggling with uterine issues, uterine cancer, the ways in which, like, all of these things that impact our biologic reality, meaning being a female is not